And welcome back to the IPF World Championships here live in Druskininkai, Lithuania. I'm Ryan Sixpack Lapidat, accompanied in a booth with none other than Amelia Potter. Amelia, we have the open 57 kilo and 74 kilo men's division. And of course, the men's side, we have the return of pound for pound king Austin Perkins. And on the women's side, Sarah Naldi will defend her title against former two-time world champion, two-division world champion, rather, Joy Namani. But first, we have a interview with Austin Perkins himself, speaking about how he does his goal setting.
I think it's good to be egocentric in powerlifting. I think it's a battle for myself just because you don't know what other people are going to do on the day. And so it's better to just focus on yourself, because if you focus on yourself, you're able to perform better and that stress won't bother you. When I don't achieve my goals, it does make me sad just because I set those goals out and I felt like I did everything in my power in training to overcome those goals. And when it doesn't happen, that's when I get sad. And hopefully this time it won't happen, because I've put in all the work and I think this competition will be a very good competition.
And what might those goals be for Austin Perkins as we take a look at his openers? 325 on squat, 197.5 on bench, 332.5 on deadlifts. That's a total based on openers of 855. If he's starting there, where is he going to end? Let's see how those move. It's going to be an interesting day. And while in the 74s, we're fully anticipating it's going to turn into the Austin Perkins show, you cannot look past some of the other contenders. First, let's look at the 57. Sarah Naldi, defending world champion, definitely a threat to break that squat world record, which is hers. However, you do have Joy Namani in the mix, two different weight class world champion with an absolutely titanic deadlift that can mitigate any type of lead Sarah might build. Evie Corrigan jumping up from the 52s, obviously a legend, a weight class below, throws her hat in the ring. And then you have Sofpal of France, who's won European titles and is also a threat for the podium. It's a stacked 57 kilo class.
And we head straight into it with Netherlands' own Miriam Amri with 155 kilos in the bar. Yes, Ryan, an absolutely stacked 57 kilo class here today, and it'll be a fight right until the end. Naldi, who has the squat record, perhaps in her again, and Joy with the deadlift. Unfortunately, a no lift, not a strong start there for Amri. Strength, not an issue, but just too high here.
It looks right on that line. She doesn't need some major adjustments. A slight tip down.
Representing Sweden, Emily Olin, opening 157.5 kilos. Hits the hole quite hard there, but does well to get the momentum going again. 3 white lights, a good lift, and hopefully something she can tidy up a bit in that second attempt.
Eight lifters in these flights. Relatively quick turnaround.
It moves very, very quickly. 165 kilos, and the crowd roars for the reigning 52 kilo world champion. Now, as you said, Ryan, moved up a weight class, Evie Corrigan. Let's see what a little extra body weight on the day can do for her numbers.
Made her return to the 57 kilo class earlier at Sheffield in January, posted up 490, expecting her, if everything goes well, to go over 500 today.
Lovely deep open there from Corrigan. And it's on the board.
If we're using her first return to the 57 kilo class as a bit of a benchmark, she opened previously at 160, opening at 165. There's 5 extra kilos right there. We'll see where her squat ends.
Multiple time world champion in multiple different weight classes, Joy Namani from Great Britain, opening with 167.5 kilos. A definite threat to Naudi today. And we've seen Joy dabble in knee sleeves, but she's gone back to her roots. No knee sleeves here. 3 white lights, we hope, for Joy Namani and her opening intent, and there they are. One of the very, very few top lifters we see who competes without those knee sleeves. So Van Pau from France here, 170 kilos.
Reigning European champion. She's also tipped over the 500 kilo mark. And it'll really be between Pau, Butters, Evie in terms of that podium finish for the bronze.
And it's a strong looking start to the day for Pau. And a good lift, 3 white lights. Yeah, it's really going to be a tight race between the 3 of those, and of course, it should all go well for Namani and Naudi. They'll be looking to fight for that gold. Ana Maria Aguila Padilla from Spain, opening here on 172.5 kilos. A little off that fight for podium, but certainly can pick up some good team points for Spain. That is a good lift. Interesting squat style there, gets folded over quite a lot by the bar, but we see that similarly in Joy Namani as well, who will be continuing to add kilos to the bar. Our penultimate opening attempt now with none other than Bobby Butters from Great Britain. 175 kilos for Bobby.
Bobby, multiple time in terms of Worlds appearances, won medals at Worlds, European champion, well-decorated lifter. And another 57 capable of going over 500.
And it's a lovely clean open. One of the best squatters in the world in the 57 kilo class. 3 white lights for Bobby. Bobby has a personal best of 190. The world record currently stood with Sarah Naudi, who we get to see lift yet at 198. And here she comes to open. Here with 185.
Naudi has previously campaigned at 69 kilos, has dropped to 63 kilos, and found her home and her peak at 57 kilos. Won the World Championship last year. Absolutely monstrous squat.
Certainly made a statement at the World Championships last year. And I know that looks tough, and I was going to say even before I saw that, if you've been following her training online, Naudi can continue to add weight to the bar and continue to make it move just like that. And let's hope that is the case instead of a bit of a heavy opener, Ryan. And with that, we move through to the second round. All bar Amri on the board with a squat attempt in. Naudi leading the pack already with that 185. Miriam Amri looking to retake 155, looking to find depth this time round. Weight, not an issue.
Yeah, it was clean, it was smooth, and she doesn't need a major adjustment either. She was right on that line. That should do it.
Yeah, that looks a lot better to me. And it is.
Right back on track.
Maybe losing a few kilos that she would have wanted to collect in that second and third, but better to have a squat in safe than, especially in the A group, risk going up and missing that, especially when you have to squat deeper.
And that's going to be the conversation. Where do they go? The plan second, plan third, somewhere in between.
Emily Olin from Sweden, 162.5 kilos. 5 kilo jump from her opener. And 3 white lights, a good lift. Olin not in the 5 podium overall, certainly will walk away with a bench press medal, most likely gold. 172.5 kilos for Evie Corrigan, which I believe is her current best squat.
Yeah, this is where she left off at while returning to the 57th at Sheffield. It's now her second attempt, so we see some improvements as she grows back into the 57s. Let's see how it moves.
Still moving pretty well there. Certainly progress has been made for Corrigan.
She seems happy, breathes a big sigh as she leaves the platform. Almost a sigh of relief. I mean, you gotta think, where previously she was cutting so much, it's gotta feel amazing eating into the competition, bulking in.
Very cool, calm, collected lifter as well, where other lifters I saw drinking their pre-workouts and any drinks, she has had a coffee in hand before she started lifting. Ana Maria Aguirre Padilla from Spain, 177.5 on the bar, a 5 kilo jump here for Ana Maria. Still maintains that folded over position, but doesn't get bullied around by the weight as a result. It's a good lift. So Van Pau from France, 180 kilos, a 10 kilo jump here for Pau.
So interesting, this is pacing less than what she did at the European Championships when she won that title. Doesn't mean she can't take a bigger jump, but I'm wondering what that might mean, how she feels on the day.
Perhaps it's a case of feeling more pressure of knowing more names are in the hat than there were at the Europeans. Having to play it a little safer, perhaps.
I don't know, that's for a second attempt. Looked like a lot of work.
It was a good lift, but yeah, it was a little tough. Gets bullied around by the weight a little bit. And
she's
limping.
walking laboriously.
Yeah, let's have a look at that again. Thrown forward a bit by the bar, but manages to keep it moving. But you're right, Ryan, she did walk off a little laboriously there.
And if there's something going on, like that squat didn't look clean, looked like the body was shutting down to certain motions. We'll see.
All smiles, as we're used to seeing from Joy Namani. 180 kilos in the bar. 12.5 kilo jump here for Joy, and pretty close to her best squat. 185, just 5 kilos off here.
And that's what, whoa, belt starts coming up class. That's what we're used to seeing from Joy. Around 180 kilos for her second attempt, moves well. Pacing appropriately to threaten Serinaldi.
Yeah, and I know that I've seen Joy squat some slow grinds successfully in the past as well. 182.5 for Bobby Butters. Again, quite close on Bobby's personal best of 190 that she got at the British Championships.
This has been her second attempt weight, her last 6 competitions. Seems to be pacing the same. Now again, somebody's gonna have to break away at some point. These ladies can't just do what they always did before. There's 3 of them in contention for the bronze, and God knows what could happen.
And it's moving exactly how you'd want your second to move. And you're right, at some point, somebody needs to break away. Is the second squat the place to do it, though, Ryan? Is that too early?
It depends on, because it depends on the jump you want to take to your third. If you're thinking you're pacing for a bigger third. However, I mean, there's a lot of variables in this.
Yeah.
And you can't force something if it's not there either.
That's it. You've got to go with how you're feeling on the day, the strength you have. You can't squat on a wish. Serinaldi now to close out the round. 195 kilos, a 10-kilo jump and 3 kilos off her personal best and world record. Now, the 185 was slow, but it's not so unusual for Serinaldi.
Yeah, look at, it's slowed, but the smile makes you believe. Now, that might be a really strong poker face, but the smile would make you believe we're all good here. Don't worry.
Yeah, and it was as slow as 185, in my opinion, to be honest. If not, it moved a tiny bit better in that middle portion.
I agree. Actually, I think it did move slightly better, and I think she felt it. Again, some people smile to throw you off. It might not be a full indication how they feel, but I believe her.
And now she has the advantage of obviously taking whatever jump she wants with that chip, should she choose to, although she's put in for a clean 200, and from past memories and occasions, she also hasn't taken chips when she's had the opportunity. And will that come back to bite her in the fight with Joy Namani, who could get a chip on deadlift?
Yeah, I think for sure. There won't be another chip for Sarah anywhere else. This was her opportunity for a chip.
We'll have to see how that affects the game as we move forward. For now, as we head into the third round, Miriam Amri with 162.5.
Curious.
I think this must have been her planned second, but unfortunately again resorts back to the depth that she had on her opening attempt, and so no lift. And it is curious, I've got to say, personally I cannot see the strategy or on not taking a chip there, Ryan. Any sense from you there?
I can't come up with a story off the top of my head.
Emily Olin, 165, 2.5 kilo jump here for the junior lifter to match her best squat.
Naldi has attempted 203 and missed 200. It's slightly less. We'll see if she feels on form for it.
Unfortunately, just a little too much, but got everything she could out of that 162.5. And to your point of failing 203 for Serinaldi, just to go back to that storyline there, is the record's 198. There was 198.5, there's 199, 199.5 she could have
Oh, that
gone,
wasn't a reason not to take a chip. Sorry, that was an aside. That's still no reason. Yeah, that's still no reason. We're grasping right now.
Evie Corrigan, 175 kilos here for Evie. Very personal best here, getting those 3 red plates on the bar for the very first time.
2.5 kilo personal best. Let's see how this moves.
We're yet to see a successful third attempt. Evie is tried and tested.
Oh, yeah. Evie's bigger and stronger.
3 white lights, a good lift. And Evie's favorite celebration of a double thumbs up. You can see the experience in that fight. Ana Maria Aguila Padilla from Spain, 180 kilos for a match personal best. Imagine she'll be doing her best to get a top 6 finish. And that is a good lift, 3 white lights.
Next up, 35 for 200 pounds, France, 185. More is noted, final attempt to make changes for the 74s. To go from provisional rounds to provisional silver, we pass the back.
Sauvan Powell, France now 185 kilos, just shy of her best squat here, but trying to play the safe game, collect the kilos. It's a long day ahead and a big fight at that.
5 kilo jump of 185 was definitely difficult. She's a fighter. Oh, is she a fighter? Oh my gosh. And she's got tons of heart. It's definitely not the greatest of days for her. The second squat was a bit of an indication like that, but she's gonna grind out these attempts.
Yeah, and it just means that the battle for podium is that much closer now. Still 6 attempts left to go, but only kilos separating Butters, Powell and Corrigan now, should Butters make that final squat. Joy Imani from Great Britain, 185. This would be a matched personal best for Joy here.
Yeah, last 2 competitions, 185 were successful third attempts for her. Keeping pace. At World Games, weighing in at 60.3 kilos, she totaled 527.5. Awfully close to Sarah Naldi's 530.
Big smiles, there it is, and that's exactly what she needs for the fight with Sarah Naldi.
As long as she's around. Oh, wow, no.
And I'm wondering if these are for her elbows here on her legs. You're not allowed to use your elbows to support, but they can graze, and the coach is going to the jury to argue that case.
It's so difficult to tell how much it's supporting and helping or grazing. They definitely touched. It's a conversation.
And it looks like they are discussing it, but we'll have to wait to see. Right now we've got Bobby Butters for Great Britain, 190 kilos, and that might hurt Joy in the long run.
It's definitely going to hurt Joy.
190 now, an important lift, an extra 7.5 kilos for Bobby, and this would certainly aid her in the fight for podium.
Equals her personal best. She hit this at World Games, again slightly above the 57 kilo class limit, but she's capable. There's a lot of opportunity here when some people miss. Very deep.
Really well executed final attempt from Butters.
Before Sarah Naldi dropped into the class, the squat event was Bobby Butters and her world record.
Now it looks like the jury are leaving Imani's lift to a no lift, and with any hope of trying to close the gap, Team GB are going to want Naldi to miss this world record attempt. Sarah Naldi from Italy, 200 kilos, not opting for that chip like we mentioned before, 200 kilos even to further extend her world record by 2 kilos. Already has the squat gold, 5 extra kilos in the fight for the world title. And a new world record.
Oh, she's got heart. And I think she knew I need these extra 2 kilos. She saw Joy Namani miss. If she hits, it's going to be more and more kilos. Joy Namani's going to have to deadlift to pull it away from her.
And if anyone in the class can pull off a big deadlift, it will be Joy, but
She'll load.
Listen,
She'll load.
it's just that bit much harder now. And we leave the squat event with Pal in squat bronze and bodyweight ahead of Aguila Padilla. In silver with 190 kilos, we have Butters from Great Britain. And the new world record, Sarah Naudi from Italy with 200 kilos.
As we move directly into the men's 74 kilo class. Adel Al-Lankawi, 217.5. Getting a little bit of pacing going. Representing Switzerland.
He was just pulled back by the technical controller there. Not sure if his equipment was an issue, but he now has 20 seconds.
Wow, okay, he didn't need it.
It looked very quick and a good lift.
Why'd you hesitate?
I hesitated because it was so quick. I was a little worried about depth, but I'm glad to see that I was wrong.
I honestly thought the same thing for a second. We have a different shot here. Can't really see due to the spotter's arms in the way. It was so fast, though. Chun Chia Fan opening with 240 kilos. He's got a serviceable squat, but it is that bench press opening with 205. Bench press world record 215.5.
Yeah, it belongs to him, and I know he's going to want to try and protect that from Austin today. Very comfortable opener for Fan.
Fan, an RTS athlete. I was in the training hall earlier with Mike T, and he said he is ready. He's going to extend his own record. Can Austin take a swing at it? Well, we'll see. Clayton Lee of Singapore up next, 245 for his opening squat.
Personal best is 276. Should be a pretty comfortable opening attempt for Lee.
Yeah, nicely done. Exactly that. Very comfortable. No major efforts needed. Keon Babai Samagi of Australia, 250 kilos even. Listen to the Aussies in the crowd.
Yeah, you certainly know when they're here and when they're supporting.
When there's 5 of them, it sounds like there's 50 of them. And I think there might be a couple dozen.
Very well controlled squat there from Babai Samagi.
Throws his belt over his shoulder. Job well done. Struts off the platform. Jacob Lavoie of Canada, 265. Makes easy work of that.
Not looking for any sort of drama here in the opening attempts. Already this week seen plenty of that to last us the whole week. 3 white lights, a good lift.
Well, don't hold your breath, but the day is young. Luke Homer of Canada. Canada got a 1-2 punch, and it's a healthy 1-2 punch. Luke, 275.
Certainly, if any slip-ups above him, could push for a podium position, not a million miles behind Balthazar.
Chunchi a fan as well, yeah. It's within reason.
And the good lift, 3 white lights on the board. As it has been for the last few years, 74 kilo class, more of a fight for silver and bronze with Austin Perkins here, but what a fight it will be today.
And of course, Bertrand Balthazar of France, opening with 280 kilos. Balthazar has everybody buzzing at just 24 years old. One of the few 74s capable of totaling over 800 kilos. The scouting reports on him have him pegged around 820 to 830. Easy work.
Yeah, makes very light work of that, and just 15.5 kilos below his best. You've got to think he's going to put a big squat up today, something we've not seen him do before.
He might be taking around the 300 kilo territory. He's gone as heavy as 295.5. And here he is, the best lifter in the world, the pound for pound king. Last year's best lifter at the IPF World Championships, opening with 325. And he has not missed a session yet at these World Championships. Flight A, Flight B, Flight C, he's there in the crowd with his daughter and his wife, taking it all in.
And that is a good lift, 3 white lights. Of course, the squat record, his own at 341.
Seemed to give a fist bump to his coach. It moved well, wasn't super speedy, but obviously he's so far ahead, even with his openers. But
yeah, I was going to say, even with his openers, he would most likely win the competition. His openers alone, like you said, giving 855 as a total, 115 kilos above other lifters.
Where might he go, though, just on his own journey at these IPF Worlds? How many lifts is he going to put in? Judging on that one, I don't think we're going to see huge leaps and bounds. 232.5 for Adele.
Getting close to his best, 237.5 now.
That is close and on the line. Now they slow down a little. Okay, I'm not surprised to see that. You know, the first one, we were both in agreement. It was so fast, but it was on the line. And yeah, you're not sure. You give the benefit of the doubt to the lifter. This time he slowed down with more weight. Yeah, that does look hot.
You can see his chest goes forward, but his hips don't go down any further. And I think he was quite fortunate with that opening attempt because it was so comfortable for him.
255, Chunchi a fan. 15 kilo jump from his opener.
Slows down a little bit there on the way up, but still a reasonable second attempt. I'd probably look to take a conservative jump to that third though, Ryan. It's a good lift.
Yeah, it's a bit of work. It is a second attempt, and you expect the work. But I agree. If he starts missing lifts, there's other lifters just too close, and they're going to force their way onto that podium. 262.5. Clinton Lee from Singapore. Clinton, accustomed to the IPF World Championships.
And looking strong so far as well. You can see the experience here in the way that he takes his attempt. Form impeccable.
265 now loaded for Australia's Keon Bombay Samagi. Bombay opened with 250, 15 kilo jump.
Just 5 kilos below his best here on his second attempt. Going to be pushing for a top 10 finish in the 74s, and stacked class it is at that.
And that's what you expect to see on a second attempt. Good attempt selection. Canada's Jacob Lavoie, 270. A relatively conservative 5 kilo jump.
Perhaps that opening attempt not feeling quite as strong as he'd hoped. 5 kilos, a particularly small jump in the 74 kilo class comparatively.
Garrett and Bryce, coaches on Team Canada, are very much battle tested, and that's why, just about to say, that coaching staff very much battle tested. Many IPF World Championships, and they know.
Yeah, they are excellent at attempt selection, and so you've got to think something went a little awry there rather than a poor coaching call.
He actually rubbed his back. Luke Homer, 290, the other Canadian in the mix, 15 kilo jump.
And this will give him provisional Scott bronze in the second round, and that is including the entire B flight we had this morning. Luke really making a statement, and like we said before, in a really strong position to get a podium overall.
Nicely done for his second attempt. Luke, one of the few lifters who will compete both in and out of equipment.
Training partner as well of Brittany Schlater.
That's right, Brittany actually in the crowd watching Luke. Iron sharpens iron. And Bertrand Balthazar of France, 300 kilos even. Well, there it is. 20 kilo jump, already a personal best in his second attempt. There's confidence. Fresh out of the juniors.
Already a 4.5 kilo personal best in his second is quite a place to be. You said you suspected the 300 kilo mark, and here it is.
I just didn't think it'd be this early.
I mean, that 280 was quick. Let's see if an extra 20 kilos slows him down too much. No.
Oh, jeez. That's big trouble. That's big trouble. 3 white lights, and this young man is rapidly progressing.
That is so impressive. And it would be a runaway for him should Perkins have not been here, but that is quite some shoes to fill. Balthazar really is progressing at an alarming rate.
Austin Perkins, 340 kilos, the world record in Austin's best ever 341. We are at the top end limit. He needs to be on his A game if he's going to hit this. was working. Nicely done.
And 2-1, a good lift. The center referee does give him a depth call. He gives a thumbs up to the jury. Like, we all good? Is that gonna stand?
Nice.
And it looks from the side all good to me. And
It looks good to me too. He need not worry. I'd be pretty surprised if the jury intervenes. And Austin Perkins with a monstrous 340 kilo squat as a 74. 310 from earlier today. Balthazar 300 kilos. We have one more round of squats to go. I'm not sure if we're going to see Austin again today. We are. Well, it might be whether he comes out for it. There's only 8 lifters, and he might have put in a weight.
Well, he's last, so I can't imagine why they're putting
That's
away.
true too. Yeah, that's true too.
At least one of us is paying attention, I suppose.
235, Adele. 2.5 kilos up from the squat he missed to depth. Is the depth good? 3 white lights it is.
And that's why he's in the 8th flight, being able to adapt on the day and overcome.
The bar is loaded for 262.5.
265 for Chunchia Fan.
7.5 kilo jump here to 262.5, and 255 was a little tough.
And it was also his personal best. This is 7.5 kilos in uncharted territory.
Like you said, if he's going to want to fight for that podium position, he doesn't want to lose kilos. So let's see if this was a smart decision for Fan.
His profile on the IPF says 265. Open Powerlifting says 255. We can attest 262.5 for sure. Well done, 3 white lights.
And we take from this second round of surprise miss. Leading somebody get ready. Bar is loaded for Jacob. Time for revenge.
Jacob Lavoie missed 270. It looked like strength. He also looked like he was touching his lower back when he left the platform. He's done as heavy as 285 back home in Canada. We're well below that. It's within his means on any other day. Is it today? Nope. Waves it off quick.
That's got to be some sort of injury that he's feeling there. He got rid of that bar very, very quickly. And it's a shame, but it's definitely sensible to fail it as quickly as possible and preserve yourself. Not just the rest of the competition, but the rest of the season.
272.5 for Clinton Lee. 10 kilo jump for the Singaporean.
Well within reach for a top 5 finish.
Oh, talk about slow and steady. He never lost form.
I was about to say it was an immaculate grind. You could play that picture for picture and it is just perfect. Look at that. It just looked like slow motion. That was all.
$275 for Keon. Bye-bye Samagi. And the Aussies in the crowd. They're getting a little unruly, Amelia. That's the way we like them.
It might be what he needs for this 5 kilo personal best.
That's exactly what he needs. Beautiful third attempt. Again, nice weight they put on the bar for their lifter. Getting the most of Keon.
It's 295. The bar is loaded. Media attempt of 2 for Canadian.
And considering I can see Austin out at the front, I don't think that 345 will be taken.
Interesting. 295 for Luke Homer of Canada, unless he plans on coming down from the crowd like a pro wrestler.
Enter the squat rack from the front.
Yeah, that would, yeah. Only for it to not to count.
Big final squat here for Homer. 2 kilos above his personal best. I imagine looking to take back a Canadian squat record here.
And I tell you, if Luke can hit all 3 lifts here, he's a threat for that podium. He's just got to stay close enough to the big 3. Oh, and he does.
It's a great fight from Homer. Let's wait for the lights. I was a little bit worried from the angle that we saw, but we'll have a look at the replay where the white light was given, and I hope it was a trick of the angle.
Can't really see due to that arm in the way. Canadian coaching staff obviously approached the jury. This is a pivotal and very important lift. Bertrand Balthazar, 12.5. Sorry, I'm trying to keep an eye on the jury as we try to do double duty here. We'll keep you updated. But 312.5.
And the jury has overruled it to a good lift for
Wow,
Homer.
okay. Luke is still in the hunt, and that makes things much more exciting. Huge personal best. Coming into this, 295.5 was his best squat. We're at 312.5. This young man, you better keep an eye on him. Oh, and there's room to spare. Yeah, I don't think he's got to worry too much. That would be shocking if he got a red. 3 white lights, young man. And the French Panagiotis, no less, on his feet cheering. Balthazar actually had to get through Panna at French Nationals to get here. And ironically, Penna, amongst his bigger fans, 345 is not going to be taken. Austin Perkins already left the back warm-up room. So 340 takes your gold medal. Balthazar Bertrand, 312.5. And from the earlier session today, a junior no less with 310. Majahid of Algeria taking the bronze. And if you look at the projected, my gosh, Austin Perkins, 875. It's quite the gap, over 100 kilos. Balthazar, 772.5. And then look at the cluster for the podium, 575.5 versus 552.5. Very, very close for that bronze medal. There's going to be some battles. You do not want to go anywhere. We will be back in a short 10-minute break for the women's and men's bench press session.
And welcome back to the 2026 IPF World Championships. We have the 57 kilo and 74 kilo weight classes for you, and quite an eventful squat session. In the 57s, we saw Sarah Naudi walk away with a new world record of 200 kilos. Joy Namani lost that final squat, did not get overruled to a good lift by the jury, and that's going to hurt her come the fight with Naudi, but how much we'll have to see. It looks like she's dropped her opening bench, which might be in a case to preserve some energy for that big deadlift, Ryan. But if we have a look at those nominated projected totals, a bit of a gap forming, but if anybody could pull for that win, it probably would be Joy.
Something to keep an eye on this is that nominated deadlift, 220 for Joy Namani. Don't believe it. And Joy on a good day is capable of 240. And then all of a sudden, what are we talking? Not 490, but 510 on the projected. And then we're 2.5 kilos away, and this is too close to call. So the battle is far from over, but this is going to be a very important bench press session.
Kicking us off, Ana Maria Aguila Padilla from Spain with 80 kilos, opening on her current best. A lot of these returning names to the A group. Ana Maria a little bit newer to the 57 kilo A group session. Seems like still progressing if she's opening on her best.
Next up, 85 kilos. Namani top, get ready. Bars loaded.
Miriam Amri from the Netherlands with a personal best of 90 kilos, opening 5, below that with 85. So a bit of a tricky start, not getting her squat open rim, but managed to get her second attempt in, leaving with 155. Let's hope bench press is a little smoother for her. And it is a good lift on the board. Joy Namani opening with 90 kilos, dropped from the initial opener she had put in for bench press.
So past 2 performances, she opened with 95. 3 performances before that, 92.5. It's been quite a bit since she's opened with 90.
Maybe we're to see some bigger jumps from Joy, I'm not so sure.
That didn't look like it was overly difficult. So I don't know if there's some gamesmanship. They're trying to hold back some energy, to your point, and take a bit of a running start. We can only hope. You don't want to take too big of a jump, though, when you're bench pressed to your second and third.
Her best bench is 102.5, and a 7.5 kilo, then 5 kilo jump isn't so unusual to see in the 57s, but she's going to want to push past that top end in this fight for overall. Have to see.
Historically speaking, she takes 5 kilo jumps, but you're right, maybe.
And it looks like that is what she's done, so we'll have to see how that pans out moving forward. Pal Savan, 97.5. Good lift, 3 white lights. Into the 100s from here on out for the opening attempts. First of those to open above 100 kilos is none other than Sarah Naudi from Italy, 102.5, opening very close to her best bench press. So she's on this sort of form today, and Joy is slightly lower than the projected.
And Joy's the one who needs to catch up to Sarah. So if Sarah's having an all-time good day and Joy's not having a great day, it's going to be tough. But let's see. There's a lot of lifting left to go.
And it's a good lift, 3 white lights. Great Britain's Bobby Butters opening here with 105 kilos.
Standard opener for Bobby.
Very snappy at the lockout there for Butters. Evie Corrigan coming out. 105 kilos now. Usually when a lifter goes up a weight class, bench is the first place you usually see kilos go on.
Yeah, and this would be previous at World Games, and when she's a 52, she would open around 100, 102 kilos, now opening at 105, back-to-back meets as a 57. So you're right, bench seems to be trending up.
Wow, trending well. Her best is 107.5, so opening 2.5 kilos below that. Extremely confident.
And it moved like an opener should. Like 2.5 kilos more shouldn't be top end for her today.
And our final opening attempt for the Swedish junior, Emily Olin, 112.5 kilos. Already that would give her bench press gold after the first round.
Yeah, she's going to be, depending how this moves, a very difficult one to beat for bench press gold. The other ladies won't catch up to her even on the second round of benching if she hits this.
And it's strong. The strength is not what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
2-1, a good lift. It was that yellow I was a little concerned about, as you saw earlier in the week, which would have been for
The jury is leaning in though, Amelia.
thrusting the body. Yeah, they are looking at it. You can see the movement of the body. And the jury are discussing it. And unfortunately, it looks like they've overruled it to a no lift for Olin. And that was where my concern lies. Hopefully that's something she can adjust today. It's so unfortunate.
If that is her bench style, it's very difficult to adjust on the day. Hopefully she's got something in their back pocket.
We've seen a couple lifters this week have to adapt and been able to, and hopefully Olin is one of those lifters that can, and it's her opening weight, so let's hope they're sensible enough to stick with it. Into the second round, Ana Maria Aguila Padilla, 82.5. A little sticky, but it was a personal best. And 2-1, a good lift. It's a yellow from the center referee this time round. If we have a look from that angle in the replay, I think perhaps for her hand slightly opening up on the right hand side, but jury seemed happy enough with that. 90 kilos for Miriam Amri, a 5 kilo jump for a match personal best.
Nice smooth second attempt. Handles that 5 kilos well. Oh, no.
I think she might have skipped a command there if it was yellows from all three. And
If it's a command, we're not going to hear it on this replay.
unless I'm wrong and I see something else,
Yeah, it looked like she paused at the top too, and the pause at the bottom should have been long enough for a press command. But all three were in agreement, so we must have missed something.
Joy Namani out now, giving instructions to the spotter for her handout. 95 kilos. So like you said, Ryan, taking that classic jump that she normally takes here with 5 kilos. So a little under what we are used to seeing Joy pace at for bench, but perhaps conserving energy for that big pull.
It's got to be even a bigger pull. You're going to have to add 5 more kilos onto it if she doesn't catch up. 2-1.
A yellow from the side referee, and if we could get that side angle, see if we can catch any sort of lift there. Nothing seems to go too wrong there for me.
Same.
So Van Pau from France, 102.5 kilos, a 5 kilo jump from her opening attempt. Trying to stick nice and close to Corrigan and Butters for that fight for podium. Silver likely to be secured already by Namani or Naldi. Strong looking second by Pau. A good lift, and I believe that was a match personal best.
Yeah, I was about to say, where Pal lost some ground on the squat, at least historically where she would be, she's gaining it on the bench press. And depending on where her deadlift lies on the day, still might go over 500 kilos and still might be grabbing that bronze medal.
Sarah Naldi now 107.5 kilos for her second bench, already hitting personal best territory or thereabouts. I think the system may be a little old here.
Well, the thing is, so she's been in 3 different weight classes. As a 57, 107.5 is top end for her, usually third attempt weight. She's taking on her second. Oh, it looks like a third though. Oh no.
And that might just help Team GB with their slightly lower
Sheesh. Just as you're about to put the nail in the coffin on Joy Namani, nope, pull that nail out, the battle continues.
Coffin is open.
Coffin is open. You can never get ahead of yourself. This is sports, and there will be ebbs and flows.
So you said the extra 5 kilos that Joy will need for taking that slightly lower bench. That was the 5 kilos Sarah
Right.
just lost there. Corrigan now taking a 2.5 kilo jump to 107.5. Previously her top end bench here in a second.
Again, this is only the second round, and she's taking her top end. Liking how the 57 kilo class feels. 105 was very quick. 2.5 should be work, but I don't expect it to be top end today. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's well beyond that. She's got another 2.5 kilos. I'm expecting 110 for her third.
And she's just
Does
having
she
fun
look
with
happy?
it. Yeah, she's could have
I don't
personal
read
best.
people well, as you could attest, I'm sure.
I think you might have nailed that one. I'll ask her
All right,
afterwards.
perfect. Thank you.
Bobby Butters, 110 kilos. If successful, this will put her into bench press silver for the time being. Olin still without a bench on the board.
Last 6 competitions, she's opened with 105. She's done 110 on her second, and she's never missed either the 105 or 110. It's the third that becomes a 50-50 proposition.
All these kilos essential in that fight for the bronze overall. And look pretty tidy.
Yeah, okay, so for sure, look tidy. I'm thinking 2.5. On a really good day, she'll load 115. I think today she should load 112.5. If I know Matt Gary, he'll take the more conservative route. Although it is a very close battle for bronze, maybe they think they got to be bold.
No, I would absolutely agree. On the same side as you need to be bold, you also need to be sensible enough to not miss potential kilos. You'd rather gain 2.5 than lose 5.
Yeah, I like it.
Emily Olin now needs to get a bench in on the board, not just for a shot at that bench press medal, but to secure that total and avoid disqualification. The question is, can she change her technique last minute on the platform and adapt, trying to avoid that thrusting motion after the press command?
I didn't see a thrusting.
It looked a lot different.
Yeah, way different.
There we go, 3 white lights and
it's still easy.
yeah. And the question is now, when it gets a little heavier, a little more towards top end, can she avoid reverting back to her normal technique, which is a little tougher to do?
And as we look at the Bobby Butters putting in 112.5, she weighs slightly more than Bobby Butters. So yeah, if she nails 115, she'll walk away with the gold medal here in the bench press.
And we head through to that third and final round of bench press for the ladies. Anna Maria, 82.5, looking to retake it here. Got that yellow from the center referee.
Oh my gosh! All right,
Oh.
deal with that. Put a pin in that conversation I just brought up. She put in 123.5. That's
We will come back to that very shortly, but wow. Okay, manages to get it up once again. Are the referees happy this time? No, still 2 yellows, unfortunately. Let's have a look at that on the replay from the center angle. Coach doesn't bother going to the jury. It's a no lift for Anna Maria. Miriam Amri retaking 90 kilos after what we assume we couldn't hear was a skipped command. She got yellows from all 3 referees. Okay, she definitely stayed to the commands, and there we are, 3 white lights, a good lift. And very quickly, just to briefly take that pin out, Ryan, the jump from 112.5 after amending your technique to 123.5 is, in my opinion, pretty extreme. What are your thoughts there?
well. So she has back home and last year internationally done over 120, but there's rules upon rules. Things have changed so much. It's an extreme. We'll have to see.
Joy Namani, 100 kilos for her third attempt, another 5 kilo jump. And now the more conservative side of things, looking a lot more sensible after the miss from Naudi. And it seemed like a good number on the day for her too.
And when she totaled 527 and a half, she left bench press with 102.5. We're only 2.5 kilos off of that. Still might be pacing for around 530. The 530 mark is Sarah Naldi's world record total. She's not really off pace, to tell you the truth. She lost a little bit of ground, but 2.5 kilos on a deadlift when you got one like hers.
Nothing she can't make up. So Van Pau from France, 105 kilos, a 2.5 kilo jump, and this would be a 2.5 kilo personal best. Only 2.5 kilos separates should all the third attempts go well. Herself, Corrigan and Butters in that vie for podium overall.
Very, very close battle for that podium. This is a pivotal 2.5.
It's a little top of the chest. Yeah, I think she just loses that position from the press. You can see that in the replay. Maybe a little bit of a mix of too much on the day, but if you look here, yeah, maybe just a little bit too much. Sarah Naudi looking to retake the 107.5. Certainly the correct choice, because although bench the most technical of the lifts, it looked like a strength issue. However, out of the 3 lifts, it's the most likely you can make a small adjustment and come back from a missed lift that may look like a strength issue. Let's see if that's the case here for Naudi. She's going to want that to be the case to put the pressure on Namani to overload that final deadlift.
she's got heart.
Did those hips come up?
Yeah, difficult to tell from that angle, but my gosh, does she have heart of a lion? Backed in the corner, she knew she had to. Oh, I'm dying for these
Yeah,
lights.
the suspense.
She knew she had to fight for this attempt. Look at that struggle. Is it white lights? I heard the crowd
It is.
clapping. 3 white lights in a pivotal moment for the defending world champion.
Evie Corrigan with 110 kilos. The 107.5 looked good. This would be a personal best for Evie, and pivotal 2.5 extra kilos in that fight, especially now that Pal has missed that third attempt and lost those 2.5 kilos. To go up a weight class and still look to podium in the weight class above the next year. Quite the statement.
Yeah, it's remarkable, and I like the 2.5 kilo jump.
And it's a lovely third.
Ooh. Look, it's easy to look back. I think she might even had another 2.5. I think 110 was the right call. 112.5 was probably, you're getting closer to the sun. But her strength levels on the bench press moving up.
Yeah, and I think more recently she's opted for those smaller jumps in competition. She used to go for slightly larger ones. Bobby Butters, 112.5 kilos.
Guaranteed medal, the bench press event, and a new personal best for Bobby.
We also thought this was the choice that Team Britain and Matt Gary would take. 2.5 kilos up.
Certainly seems like the sensible choice for me, especially when you're in a head-to-head-to-head fight for positioning.
In the projected, if she hits this, her and Evie both tied 482.5. Very close in a race for that podium. She needs this. Nicely done.
And a very good call at that, I think. 3 white lights, a good lift. And it leaves Pal now going into deadlifts, 5 kilos behind Corrigan and Butters, who are neck and neck. Corrigan ever so slightly lighter. And now, again, pin fully out. This is for Emily Olin, going immediately for the world record bench. Missed her opener, has had to adapt her form, got it on her second, and now is jumping to 123.5 for an open and junior world record attempt.
A few months ago at Swedish Nationals, she had 122.5.
But has she done this jump before?
That's honestly, for a bench press, this is a huge jump.
And she has been sent back to adjust her wrist straps there.
Yeah, this is all or nothing. She's not going for the gold medal in the bench press. She wants the world record as a junior, and this is the open world record, no less.
She knows what she came here for today. She's not fighting for podium. She knew regardless of what happened, as long as she got one of her first or second in, the third was going to be the record. And here it is. The question is, can she make that jump? Can she get that record?
It'd be quite the story.
It's just too much. The jump, I think, on top of having to adjust your technique, there's a lot going on physically and mentally, but well done to her for coming out and giving that a good go.
And even though she went 1 for 3 in the bench press, she will leave with the silver medal, narrowly missing gold on body weight to Bobby Butters. Oh, hang on a second. Her and Bobby weighed the exact same.
Yeah, and
She'll
actually,
get gold because she did it first. Wowzers.
so it turned out pretty okay for her. Monica De La Torre from the B group ended up in bronze, Butters in silver, and gold for Olin, all only separated by body weight.
Her opening with 112.5. Hey, what do they say? Fortune favors the bold.
And bold she was.
Bold she was. As we move directly, this is not the open men's 74s. There we go, the open 74s. And Chun Chia Fan opening with 205. He holds the bench press world record at 215.5. Will we see an attempt at that? Of course, Austin Perkins, 197.5, has a hell of a bench press himself. And in the projected, those aren't actually nominated deadlifts. I was wrong earlier. They're actually opening deadlifts. And there's your projected totals based off of your openers of bench press and deadlifts combined, as well as the completed squats. Obviously, Austin well ahead. Jacob Lavoie, 140. Back-to-back Canadians, Luke Homer, 150. Oh, Jacob Lavoie missing that 140 and had a rough squat event, opening with a failed lift.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the issue that plagued him on squat has carried over to the bench.
Luke Homer, 155.
That's a depth call from the center referee if we have a look at that in the replay here. So looking for the elbow depth. And he's a little bit wonky, Ryan, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's not met the requirements. We'll have to see what the jury say here. They seem happy with it.
Keon opening with 160. Babai Samagi, less squats with 275. Makes easy work of 160. Another depth call.
Homers was left alone. Let's see if the same goes for Babai Samagi.
Looks okay to me. Jury agrees. Clinton Lee opening with 162.5.
Very comfortable looking opener for Lee. No issues there.
Adel Al-Lankawi, 170. Representing Switzerland.
$15 kilos off his best, perhaps looking to match it here should this move well.
Ready?
180 kilos, Bertrand Balthazar.
Now we saw a huge improvement in his squat. Let's see how much he's improved in this bench.
Makes easy work of 180 kilos. Opening a good 5 kilos more than his last couple performances. Balthazar pacing for another personal best. Reigning world champion Austin Perkins at 197.5 kilos for his opener.
bench one of the only disciplines you can go head to head with somebody and not coming out last at that. Second last open and bench. Little scrappy, but it looks good. 3 white lights, and we're not worried about Austin's strength by any means.
Chun Chia-Fan, 205 kilos for his opening bench. He holds the world record of 215.5. This is the heaviest we've seen him open at the international level. So it would appear as though he's going to attempt to break his own world record. First, let's see how 205 moves.
Looks good. I know that he hit very least 213 in training a few weeks ago, lead up to Worlds.
Jacob Lavoie, 140 once again, missed it on his opener. Walked away with squats just as opener.
Yeah, got overruled by the jury.
That looks clean to me.
Yeah, I'd be surprised to see anything wrong with it.
Probably 3 white lights and jury cannot intervene.
Let's hope you're right. We're still waiting for a light there from the far side referee.
That's gotta be depth.
Yeah, 3 white lights and he is on the board.
Luke Homer up next, 160 kilos for his second attempt, 5-kilo jump.
I believe this would be a match personal best. Did get a depth call from the center referee on his opening attempt, but jury left it alone. I think it was more uneven than it was high.
Yeah, that definitely looks like depth to me. Can't imagine this gets called on depth.
Wow. Well,
2-1 is all he needs, and I would be very surprised if the jury intervenes. Take a look at this. Uneven should be fine.
yeah, and the jury don't even really seem to be discussing it.
Keon Babai Samagi, 167.5.
And it's a good lift, 3 white lights, more than comfortable. One of those lifters that I think regardless of the weight is a little shaky, but super strong. Not an indication of strength by any means.
Clinton Lee, 170 kilos for his second attempt.
Still very, very comfortable. Moved more similarly to an opener, but got called for depth from the center referee and a yellow from the side referee, which could be either some sort of lift or thrusting motion. I can't see either of those personally. Jury don't seem to be intervening, however, for Lee.
Adel Al Lankawi, 180 kilos, 10-kilo jump from his opener. 3 white lights and it's good. No question on squat depth for that, or bench depth for that young man. Take a look at those elbows. Almost brushed with the platform. Balthazar Bertrand, 192.5, 12.5 kilo jump.
And I believe this is his previous best as well. So just like squat, steaming ahead in progress. Let's first see how this moves.
12.5 kilos is a nice jump. Solid. What would you think? Another 5 kilos, Amelia?
I think another 5 kilos is safe. It depends if they want to push for that 7.5 for the clean 200. But if they're looking for kilos to fight for that position in bronze, or in silver rather, then he's pretty safe in silver.
He should be safe, yeah. But you want to go 9 for 9. You want to build your total. You want to make that statement, even if you're safe in silver.
Yeah.
Talk about safe in their position. 207.5 for Austin Perkins. This will put his total at 880.
That's strong looking second attempt
Yes.
for Austin.
Yeah, it is. He handled that 10 kilo jump rather well. Not sure if he's going to take it on his third or if he comes out for it. Considering his personal best is 208, Austin Perkins looking very strong with that 207.5, making it look like a proper second attempt. Now, Chun Chia Fan, 216.
Talk about big jumps to records today.
Yeah, it's ambitious. Is it overly ambitious to be attempting the world record on his second attempt and not his third?
Just told to narrow his grip a little bit there. It's a big fight, but he manages to lock it out.
I saw pausing. I don't think I saw a down up. 3 white lights. The jury cannot intervene. And there is a new world record, 216 pounds as a 74.
Wow, absolutely mammoth bench. And he has another shot to extend that on his third, but do you think he emptied the tank with that?
I mean, they could always throw a little bit more because it's a world record. He can go a kilo more if he likes, but they're getting awfully close to the world record a weight class up. Absolutely monstrous bench press. And if you look at the projected, huge spread for Austin Perkins. Then you got Balthazar, another comfortable spread, but it is really the podium where Chun Chia and Luke Homer, close enough anyways, that there may be a battle. If Chun Chia Fan starts missing, Luke might be able to capitalize. 145 for Jacob Lavoie. Looks like he's hit it.
That is a good lift.
Luke Homer, 162.5 for his third and final bench.
That big jump and chip made it that much harder for Homer to fight for that bronze overall against Fan. But every kilo counts here before they head into the deadlift. He's got the bigger pull out of himself and Fan. I think that was the perfect number on the day for that third attempt. Ooh, but unfortunately, a red from the center referee and a yellow from the side. If we catch that again in the replay, Ryan.
Yeah, I'd like to take a look at this. So, I don't know. In my view, I didn't see an infraction. Let's see if the jury agrees with me.
Yeah, I think the yellow on the side would have been for some sort of lift that the referee saw.
170
Jury are discussing it, however.
for Clinton Lee. Missed this on his second, retaking it on his third. keeping one eye on the platform, one eye on the jury. Looks good to me, and unfortunately, the judges don't agree.
Exact same infractions as Homer from Canada got, but he's going to have to get in the queue. I don't necessarily see the yellow there for Lee.
Now, Austin Perkins has scratched Chunchia Fan, looking to take 218, and Austin not giving him that 60 seconds of break. Ouch. Bit of a snub, 172.5 for Keon. And by the way, Chunchia, 218, the world record of weight class up 219. This is crazy. Nice press. Fight to lockout. 3 white lights for Keon.
And that's a relatively new record from Borenstein as well. It was held by Owen Hubbard at 218 for quite a while as well. One of the longest standing records. So to be reaching that as a 74 is absolutely insane. Clock is running down. He's just getting those wrist straps on.
The crowd receives him as soon as he steps onto the platform, 185. Adele tucking in his chain. Huge effort to get that locked out, and 3 white lights are his reward.
He'll be fighting Laveau for a top 10 finish.
Now, we were talking whether or not Balthazar Bertrand would take a 5-kilo jump or 7.5. You said 200 kilos is that milestone a lot of people are looking for. I thought, you know what, maybe a little too far reaching. This is a 50-50.
Let's see which one of us has egg on our face after.
Okay. Not that I'm rooting against the young man.
No, certainly 5 kilos would have been the safe option, but Team France not looking to be safe today.
They're not risking that silver medal anyways.
Yeah, 200 kilos I think was a bit of a throw in the air, but like you said, he's in a bit of an island of his own there, but really at this point not so safe, especially if Fan gets his last bench, of course, especially as if the openers don't change, which we know France likes putting a fake opener from time to time, then Fan has a bigger opening total as well.
218 for Chunchia Fan. Again, a reminder, the world record in the 83s is 219. The fact that this is an attempt, if this is always what he wanted, makes a little more sense. He tried 216 on his second and not his third. Somewhere, Joe Bornstein is leaning in. Oh, too much.
I think just how quick it was in between those two attempts, right at that top end, 216 already.
You're blaming Austin Perkins.
Those words did not come out of my mouth.
I read between the lines, but a dramatic and exciting bench press session by the 57 kilo and 74 kilo people. Chunchia Fan with the gold and the world record at 216. Austin Perkins 207.5, just below his personal best for that silver. And Balthazar Bertrand 192.5. As we look at the projected, obviously Austin Perkins with a sizable lead, but Balthazar Bertrand in the silver medal position and Chunchia Fan 768.5. Not super far away is Luke Homer, who is still a threat for that bronze medal. And should Balthazar fumble the ball, who knows? Chunchi Fan, close enough. You do not want to go anywhere. We will be back after a short break for the deadlifts.
And welcome back to the 2026 IPF World Powerlifting Championships here in Druskininkai, Lithuania. We return to the conclusion of the 57 and 74 kilo classes. And as we stand right now, we can see Sarah Naudi leading the pack, Joy Namani behind her, bit of a hill to climb. Nobody has changed their opening attempts here in the women's. A big fight for that third overall between Butters, Corrigan and Powell. And we can see here, currently separated by 17.5 kilos on projected total. If you look a little further down in that fight for third, Corrigan and Butters neck and neck. Powell just 5 kilos below them. It's going to be a huge fight for medals in the 57 kilo ladies, Ryan.
Yeah, even though Rinaldi has a sizable lead in the deadlift event, if she misses, Joy has a big enough weapon in that final pull. She could spring for that upset. Sarah is not safe yet, and then to your point, in terms of the overall podium for the bronze medal, anybody's game still.
157.5 kilos for Emily Olin. Just missing that world record on her third bench. Secures her total, it's a good lift. Interesting to see none of the opening deadlifts move up or down. Usually in a big battle like that, we tend to see them try to push each other. So interested to see how this pans out as we bring on Miriam Amri from the Netherlands, 175. Three white lights. Bobby Butters always bringing the intensity here, opening with 180 kilos.
Bobby's got a big squat, big bench, and she's got a workable deadlift, but amongst the elite, she usually loses a little bit of ground. Her adversaries are going to be able to pull after her and know exactly what they have to load for those final pulls when it comes down to that bronze medal.
Could this be the day that Butters hits that illustrious 200 kilo deadlift?
It might. She's come close.
She might need it in that fight for bronze. Ana Maria Aguila Padilla from Spain, 182.5 kilos. That is a good lift. A little wobbly at the top there, but I think just because of the speedy lockout, knocked around a little bit, didn't cause her any issues. So Van Powell from France, opening with 195 kilos. A little bit behind Corrigan and Butters now. That was a very speedy opener. And can she make up the ground? It's 5 kilos as it stands.
The reigning European champion. And she's in a battle if she wants that podium.
Yeah, and she's the heaviest of the three as well, so won't have that weight advantage above either of the two. Evie Corrigan, 197.5 kilos, the lightest of the three fighting for podium.
And amongst those three ladies, it's Evie who's opening heavier than she previously ever has. Might she be the one that breaks away? Of course, it's not where you start, it's where you end. That looks like an opener.
Yeah, it's very, very comfortable and certainly looking to hit a personal best on deadlift and on total today. That might be enough for that bronze place in her first world's back as a 57. What a re-entry that would be.
Yeah, that's to be able to turn it around, move up a weight class, and still podium.
Sarah Naudi now favorite for the overall title, opening with 210 kilos on projected 17.5 kilo lead ahead of Joy Namani. This opening attempt will be very telling.
When she totaled 530.5 at Sheffield, she opened with the same weight. She's pacing well.
And it's a good lift, 3 white lights. And that already gives her 517.5 as a total on that opening deadlift. Not so far off that world record. But trying to put the pressure on, so she has to keep looking behind her. We have Joy Namani from Great Britain opening with a whopping 220 kilos, the world record standing at 231.5.
And this is the heaviest we've seen Joy open. We were saying earlier she needs a huge deadlift to end the day, and we'll see how this moves, but judging off the pacing, she might have the biggest deadlift she's ever unveiled yet. Is it enough?
And that's saying something with a personal best of 240.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gosh, this is trouble. And this is why you can't ever look past a big deadlifter.
She does get a yellow from that center referee, maybe not happy that she met the down command in time, and the jury are discussing it. It's an easy enough fix. Should they choose to overturn it?
If they take this from her, I expect her to move up regardless. She's hunting for a world title.
And the jury has overruled that to a no lift for Joy Namani.
Yeah, she's going up regardless. I'm almost sure of it. And she'll go up as though what her plan second was, nothing in between first and second or any kind of games like that. She wants a world title, if I know Joy Namani.
Now we move straight through to the second round. Emily Olin, 167.5. Still moving really well there. 5 kilos off her best and a good lift. And it doesn't seem like Team GB are dropping the second attempt they put in when they thought the opening was good, as we would have suspected.
Yeah, she's Joy Namani you're talking about. She's got 235 for her second. 240 is the world record. I mean, she's ready. She's ready and willing to take a run at this.
231.5 is the record. 240 she's hit before, so...
Excuse me, pardon me. She hit that at a heavier body weight, that's right.
190, and the energy we expect from Bobby Butters for this second attempt has jumped 10 kilos already, getting within PB territory.
These ladies are making a concerted push. It's a stacked 57 kilo category. Snappy at the top.
And it is a good lift, and you've got to think to push Corrigan, they're going to put that 10 kilos in, at least for the time being. See how Corrigan does on that second pull. Miriam Amri taking a 15 kilo jump to 190 for her second attempt. Big jump here. Makes good work of it. And his 3 white lights, a good lift. Ana Maria Aguilar Padilla from Spain, 195 kilos, taking a 12.5 kilo jump here to match her personal best on her second attempt.
Next up, Slovakia by false working 10 to 205. Provisional third position. Equal weight class. Provisional index number. The Joy Money gets to be on board. Already happy to color.
Soban Pao taking a 10 kilo jump here to 205. Just requested the bar to be cleaned a little bit there.
This is a pivotal deadlift for the French. They are losing some ground here against Evie Corrigan. In the projected, if they both hit their seconds, Evie 492.5, Soph 487.5. She needs this 205. It needs to move like a second attempt should.
And let's see if that is the case here. It's a number that she's hit before. She's a little off her top end today. But she's going to need to pick it up here in the deadlift for that big fight.
Oh, there's more there.
There's definitely more there.
And I'll give her this. I've seen her fight for attempts. She can grind if she has to. She is pulling conventional, which helps you grind.
Evie Corrigan also opting here for a 10 kilo jump, 207.5. If she keeps matching jumps as the lightest of the 3 fighting, she's in a good enough position to stay in that 3rd overall.
Previously as a 52, this would be where she's ending her day. Now it's a second attempt. Curious to see how this moves.
Already this would be a 2.5 kilo personal best for Evie with 492.5 on her total. And it's
That's
clean.
trouble. Yeah, it's big trouble. She's got the lead, and she also pulls last out of these 3 ladies vying for the bronze medal. Very enviable position for Evie.
She has, like you said, the opportunity to see if Butters can make that 10 kilo jump. I'm sure Team GB watching in the wings there to see how comfortable that was and whether they can put the pressure on, but I think maybe don't have that luxury. Our penultimate second attempt, Sarah Naudi, 220 kilos, a 10 kilo jump. This is a number that she's hit before. It will give her a 527.5 total, very close to her 530.5 world record total.
This is the exact same progression she chose at Sheffield when she got that world record 530.5. Is it enough though? Joy Namani is set to do something crazy on her second attempt. Oh, wow.
And she gets it, but I've got to say, that left a little tough for a second, Ryan.
We have ourselves a potential upset in the making. She's vulnerable.
And at that, she got a red for lockout, and the jury are discussing it, and that really would throw a big spanner in the works. And they have overruled it to a no lift. That's a no lift for Sarah Naudi, and that really makes it close. Of course, Joy without a deadlift on the board, but if she gets this, They are much, much closer than she would have liked. 2.5 kilos would separate them heading into that third round. Joy heavier, but will pull after her. Before any of that, Joy is going to have to get a lift on the board. Ladies and gentlemen, what a story this is panning out to be.
Now if she hits this, she's still 2.5 kilos below Sarah Naldi.
But let's see how well she can make it move. Joy Namani hasn't got a deadlift on the board yet. 235 to secure her total with a world open record on the deadlift. And she wants some energy from the crowd, and they give it right back to her.
Yep, the opposite of what Jurgens calls for.
I was about to say. And look at that, she certainly waited for the down. She waited a little longer than they even wanted, and she's on the board, and she is on the tail of Sarah Naldi. The fight, Ryan, is on. Now.
Forces the hand, Naldi has to hit.
It would be a monumental pull for Joy to catch up to Naldi if she does hit, but...
Because, well, Joy's a little heavier, so she's got to go over, but she does have a chip.
She does, and she would have to hit the world record or nearby it to beat Sarah. Should she get that third pull, we won't have to wait too long to find out now as we head into our third and final round, kicking us off, Olin, 175.
A little too much on the day.
Already starting to see some temp changes come in here.
So Butters has 197.5, and Butters is heavier than Evie. That'll put her total to 500 kilos. Evie about to pull to try to get the 502.5, but is currently at 492.5. Obviously, they're also trying to defend against Soph Powell.
They've got to put on the bar what they think Bobby absolutely has on the day with putting enough pressure on the other two lifters, and 197.5 is the number they landed on. It's her current personal best.
None of the other ladies have hit 500 kilos even. It's as good enough a guess when you got to go first.
Should be a huge total PB. And puts her in such a good position to hold on to that bronze overall with Pal and Corrigan to answer afterwards. I think that's it.
Wow, locks it out in 500 kilos it is. First time in her career she's reached that milestone, and if temporarily in bronze medal position, Amelia.
And what a day Bobby has had, so consistent. She brings the energy as always, and you can see how much that means to her. $200 kilos, another milestone lift here. Ana Maria Aguilar Padilla, should she hit this? And I am anticipating to see some attempt changes come in very shortly.
Yeah, same. Evie likely to wait for Team France first. Too much on the day.
Just 5 deadlifts remaining, 4 of which are for position. Miriam Amri coming out for 207.5. Big jump here from Miriam, 17.5 kilos. Bigger jump than she took from her opener to her second.
Yeah, 17.5. It's sizable. Bump her total to 452.5. Nope.
It's a pretty big ask. You know, it always is when you increase the jump from first to second to second to third. And now we are into the pivotal deadlifts that will determine the podium first and third. Sauvane Pau from France, 212.5 kilos, a 7.5 kilo jump, and this will pull her for the time being into silver. Sorry, it's not enough for the podium. They're
That's
not
right.
shooting the podium. It'll
Yeah.
be silver on deadlifts, but this will give her 495.
She'll bump past Evie if temporarily. And that was probably all she had on the day regardless. Good attempt selection by the French.
Yeah, and it, for the time being puts her into silver for a deadlift, but the podium is not to be for Team France today.
But it will temporarily put her past Evie. Evie's going to swing to get onto the podium. If Evie misses, she's over Evie and Team New Zealand.
And she won't have to wait too much longer, nor will we, to find that out. Evie Corrigan looking to jump 7.5 kilos. The second was nice. Can she put 7.5 kilos on for a personal best on deadlift, on total, and to pull herself into bronze overall ahead of Bobby Butters from Great Britain, who will end up on that podium? This pull will determine the fact Great Britain or New Zealand. Will Evie Corrigan in her first Worlds back as a 57 end back on the podium already?
215 is a personal best, but it's only a 5 kilo PR and she's a weight class up. This is not crazy. This is entirely reasonable. Evie Corrigan
There it is.
strikes hard.
3 white lights, a good lift, and already straight back onto the podium like she never left, because she didn't.
Crazy, crazy performance. Winning a weight class below, returning to IPF World Championships the very next year, a weight class up, and ending up on the podium, no less, with 500 kilos.
And just 2 deadlifts remaining now, and they are pivotal. Quite the upset here for Naudi. She missed 220 on her second, which allowed Namani to close the gap. If she gets this, it's going to be an even bigger ask for Joy, but if she misses, it's not going to be much for Joy to have to pull ahead of her. Sarah Naudi, reigning world champion, 220 kilos. Can she hold on to it? Can she lock it out? It's
my
moving,
gosh,
but no,
that
it's not
is-
there, and the door is wide open for Joy Namani
This is crazy.
to take the crown.
Wow.
And we've seen that attempt change come in. Joy is just going to put exactly what she needs on to take, and she's heavier, so it would have to be 5 kilos. Sorry, she's got the chip, of course. They can go 3
Right.
kilos. So this is not so much more than we saw her hit about
3
10
kilos.
minutes ago.
However, it is top end. It's 3 kilos more, but it is top end.
It's not
Oh
a
my
done deal
gosh.
by any
Oh,
means. You know,
gosh.
Sarah Naudi could still win with that opening deadlift. Joy has to make this. It's 2 kilos less than what she's ever pulled before. It is 7.5 kilos above the current world. It's 3 kilos above the current world record. She's going to have to take it
'cause
all if she
broke
wants
the world
it all.
record in the second attempt.
Step up for the world record.
And here she comes to finish the day. Who will walk away victorious? Will it be Naudi or Namani? Only one person can answer that question. Joy Namani of Great Britain, 238 kilos, a 3 kilo jump to take it all, a world record.
Oh my gosh.
Phones are out. There is not a dry eye. They are staring, they are waiting for this final pull. And she wants the noise, she wants to hear it, and the crowd more than happy to oblige for this momentous event.
Holy moly, do you believe? Oh! Joy Namadi!
And your
Breaks the
2026
upset
world champion,
again.
Joy Namadi, she is back and better than ever, ladies and gentlemen. The crown goes the British lifter, Namani, once again. Ladies and gentlemen,
You
she's
can
back.
never count out a phenomenal deadlifter like Joy Namadi.
And if you look at the percentages of people that thought Naudi versus Namani, Naudi was going to win, would you look at that?
Yeah, I mean, you can't call it off nominations. Obviously, Naldi came in here with 530.5, but anything can happen on any given day. The totals came down, but Joy Namani,
And it was so close, both for gold and for bronze. Corrigan and Butter separated only by body weight. Corrigan ending up in bronze ahead, both with 500 kilo totals. Naudi lost it just there at the end, 517.5, still a huge total, but your 2026 champion, 518 from Great Britain, Joy Namani.
as we try to gather ourselves, we still have another flight. The men's open 74 kilo class. I'm returning to my seat. My heart is going to lower a stitch. The nominated openers there for the 74s. Austin with 332.5. It's monstrous. Projected totals there. Austin well in the lead. Bertrand, silver, looks secure. Fan for bronze, but we got a lot of lifting left to go. 277.5 for Keon.
Very comfortable opener there.
Clinton Lee with 280 kilos for his opening pull. Smooth openers. .280 stays on the bar. Balthazar Bertrand of France. This will put his total at 785 as soon as he hits this.
Wow.
Whoa. That was a warm-up.
And I expect to see some pretty hefty jumps there from Balthazar.
Chunchia Fan, 285. As soon as he hits this, his total moves to 763.5. He also has a world record from the bench press. It's only official if you get a total.
Perhaps why he chose to drop that opening deadlift as well. Makes it a little close between him and Homer, but still good 8.5 kilos ahead currently.
It'd be something I had to think about. Nicely done. World record is safe.
And now to fight for position.
bar is loaded for the European Championship.
Adele opening up at 290 kilos, representing Switzerland.
Kilos below his best should be pretty comfortable for him. More than.
Yeah. Yeah, he's on form today. He's also a crowd favorite. Makes easy work of his opening weight. Luke Homer of Canada, 300 kilos even.
Now, he's opening pretty close to what I have here as his best deadlift.
Yeah, I'm just looking at, historically speaking, the heaviest he's ever opened is 290.
Now, this wasn't changed. This was his planned opening attempt.
If his deadlift has improved like this, he might be a podium threat.
Absolutely. Do not count him out. We've seen just in the ladies, you can capitalize on other people missing, and you having a good day. That was a strong looking opener. And based on his squats, you know, speed isn't necessarily an indicator of strength.
Right. You got to be careful when judging and comparing.
And that's a pretty good skill to have when you know other coaches and other teams are watching you and trying to base it off of speed.
305 for fellow Canadian Jacob Lavoie. Had a tough squat session, tough bench session. But 305, the second biggest opener of the day. Wow, and it moved like an opener should. And he's all smiles. Might turn this day around after all.
Yeah, it seems whatever is plaguing him on the squat and maybe a little bit on the bench seems, at least right now, parked.
$332.5 for the greatest powerlifter alive, Austin Perkins. And his all-time biggest deadlift, 343. We're just over 10 kilos away from that on his opener. Is he pacing for 3 lifts when you're 10 kilos away from your all-time?
If we're going based off what we've seen from squat and bench, I don't think that is the game plan today. So I suspect to see him once or twice here to secure that. I imagine a second deadlift, but even for him, he weighed in a little light today, 73.3. Very comfortable opener for Austin.
It's comfortable.
Even he is surprised at how well that moved.
I mean, listen, he's he's rather close to his top end in terms of historically speaking, but that was a very smooth and comfortable opener. It looked reasonable.
And you know what? You know that he wants to push more than he's going to. You can see it in his face. He feels good today.
I'm curious where he goes from here. As we look at the secured totals, 880, 785, 763.5, and Luke Homer, the 755, within 10 kilos of a bronze medal, applying pressure to Chun Chia-Fan. Keon's back, 292.5, and the Australian crowd are getting riled up. And Babai Samagi repays him with a beautiful second attempt.
Let's get a call there from the center referee for insufficient lockout. It moved very, very well. Have a look here from the side angle. The side referee is happy with it.
Looks good to me.
Yeah, jury don't seem too bothered by it.
Chun Chia-Fan, 295.
making a 10 kilo jump here. This would already be a total personal best and would match his deadlift PB at that.
I think the reason why the Canadians are being aggressive with Luke Homer's deadlift attempts is because they're trying to get an eye on Chunchi if they can make a run for the bronze.
Yeah, and actually looking at an updated version, he has deadlifted 310 kilos before.
So him and Luke have very similar deadlifts.
And it's still moving very well.
Yeah.
Homer opted for a slightly smaller jump to his second, so the gap's ever so slightly larger now, with Fan making a 10 kilo jump.
Clinton Lee, 300 kilos even.
Kilo jump here for Clinton.
Handles it well. We pause. Judges agree. Balthazar Bertrand, 300 kilos even, handled 280 so fast it looked like a warm-up and not an opening pull. This will push his total to 805. And that was still fast.
Plenty left in the tank there. Balthazar, of course, won't catch Austin, but there's absolutely nobody, if he continues like that, they can catch him. Actually, at this point, nobody can catch him.
No, it would be, yeah, it would be.
Nobody can, really.
Adel El Lenkawi, 305 for his second attempt. 15 kilo jump.
Still super snappy.
.307.5 for Luke Homer. And historically speaking, 310 was his top end. The Canadians playing it aggressive because they're trying to apply pressure to Chunchi Fan.
And really what they'll need is for Chunchi Fan to miss that final pull and for Homer to make it. So he's going to need to make this look convincing enough to add another 7.5 kilos.
If you got even an outside chance on a medal at IPF Worlds, you apply that pressure, and he's got a chance based off of that bar speed. He's not a fast puller. You had said that before, Amelia. That's very similar to his opener. I think he's within reach.
You've got to think they're going to load it. He's safe in fourth. You're bound to push for that third if you have the opportunity. He's pulling after.
I'll be honest, even if he wasn't safe in fourth and he was risking falling behind a couple rankings, if you can grab a medal at the IPF World Championships, you take that risk. 317.5 for his teammate, Jacob Lavoie.
And we saw that 7.5 kilo jump go in, the exact jump we expected to see. Which isn't quite enough yet, and perhaps they'll wait to see what Chunchi Fan does.
Austin Perkins, 344 kilos, a world record attempt on only the second round of pulls.
And this would match his world record total of 891.5.
And I think he's going to call it a day there. Letting the crowd get a taste of a world record before he exits.
He's got to be the most successful lifter that rarely goes 9 for 9 that you'll ever see.
Yeah. If you only looked at his open powerlifting, wow, he doesn't have a very high success rate. Poor guy. If he ever has a good day.
In fact, he doesn't need it to have a great day. 344 to match his own world record. So near that 900 kilo mark.
The way 333.5 moved, this is all but assured. But the proof is in the pudding. Wow, and that was pretty smooth.
And as to be expected, a good lift and a new world record.
344 and 891.5 by Austin Perkins, the king of the 74s and arguably every weight class. Austin, 344, obviously. Gold medal in the deadlifts. And as we look at the projected 891.5, such a commanding lead from the rest of the pack. Balthazar Bertrand looking to pull into 817.5. Quite a ways away below that. Chunchi Afen, 781. And then Luke Homer, 770. We look like we got a bit of a spread, of course, unless Chunchi Afen misses. Do the Canadians
well, it looks
recalibrate?
It looks like Chunchi Afen has dropped his final attempt to avoid that happening.
Keon, 302.5.
He's had a great day today.
Delighting the crowd. 3 for 3 in the deadlifts. And Chunchi Afen, 302.5, will move his total from 773.5 to 781. Should he miss and his total rests at 773.5, I expect the Canadians might bump up their final pull to make a play for his bronze. Should he hit, he might make the Canadians shy away. Important pull for this young man. Oh, wow, and you know what?
He had more in the tank.
Yeah, he looks like he had more on the day, and that's going to be likely too much.
It would be a huge ask for Homer. So I think now to put on the bar what he thinks he has for that third pull instead of pushing Fan.
Clinton Lee, 315 kilos for his final pull, will move him to 750 if he can hit it.
For the time being, we'll move him into deadlift bronze. A lot of people looking to move around that podium, however. Just shy of his personal best here. Preliminary bronze on the deadlift.
got a few lifters left that can contend for that bronze medal. But a nice little souvenir. He's got to do his part. Nope. Worth a try. Among those looking to walk away with deadlift bronze, Canada's Luke Homer, 315. 3 lifters left to go after this. See Britt in the crowd, Brittany Schlater, fellow Canadian.
Here he comes for that 315. He didn't choose to change it. To be for a total and deadlift PB for Homer.
It's a tough final pull, but he does lock it out. I didn't see any down up. I didn't see any ramping. I am Canadian. 3 white lights. Just giving my bias up front.
Well, the referee's not Canadian and they agree
That's
with
right.
you. 3 white lights.
That's right.
I'll remember that the next time I see a British athlete.
3:17.5. Balthazar Bertrand. He'll take the silver medal in deadlifts. He already has the silver medal overall, and it'll move his total from 805 to 822.5 we had said coming in. The scouting reports on him, he would be anywhere between 820 and 830 if he can hit this. He lives up to the hype. Oh gosh! Oh, he's still. Whoa!
Wow, what an incredible
I didn't
end.
see down up. Gosh darn it!
Let's
Pardon
have a
my
look
language. Pardon my language, but
Pardon your French.
pardon my French. Well played.
Let's have a look at that again.
Okay, maybe there was. All right, fine.
But what grit to stick with that until the end and hold on to it.
Yeah, if this was a gym mock meet,
What are you talking about?
yeah. What am I doing here? 325 for Adele, representing Switzerland. Will move him in the deadlifts from 4th to silver onto the deadlift podium. Expect the crowd to go crazy if he hits this. They're going crazy already. 20. Whoa, there's some Swiss out there. 20 kilo jump from his second. They're rowdier than the Aussies.
And this would at the very least secure him deadlift medal, bronze.
Not a small feat to grab a medal at the IPF Worlds.
Knees locked early there.
Stuck at the knees.
Yeah, you can just see here in the replay his knees locked out far too early and it was just too hard to straight leg that up.
Jacob Lavoie had a bit of a shaky squat and bench press event, but might finish with 325 and deadlift silver. All is forgotten if you leave IPF Worlds with the silver medal. Oh, and how do you like that?
Smiles all round, and he does, in fact, take away that medal.
And that will conclude the open 74 kilo class. Austin Perkins taking gold and the world record in deadlifts. Jacob Lavoie, 325 for silver. And Luke Homer, fellow Canadian, 315 for the bronze medal in the deadlifts. But overall, Austin Perkins in a dominating performance, 891.5, equaling his world record and begging an encore where he lets it all hang out and goes 9 for 9. And let's see where he ends up. Balthazar, 805 in his silver medal, just barely missing that 317.5 for that 822. Put a pin in that. I'm sure he'll get that before the end of the year. And Chunchi Fan breaking the world record in bench press, ending with 781. Great battles all over, upsets in the 57 kilo class. Joy Namani, what could you say about that, Amelia?
I mean, you can't really ask for much more than upsets, world records, and performances like we've seen this evening. I think particularly when you come into a competition and everybody's favoring one particular athlete so heavily, to see a fight like that and the underdog to come out on top, which is crazy that she was an underdog considering she's a previous world champion in 2 weight classes, a feat that very few athletes have done. But what a delightful session to watch.
Joy is a future Hall of Famer, no question about that. Hope you enjoyed, and please do return as we have the medal ceremony.
Squat Award. In bronze medal position with a personal best attempt today of 180 Suvanpai from France. In the silver medal position, the insanely energized Bobby Butters from Great Britain with 190. And squat gold. Being the first 57 to squat in the 200 goes to Salanali from Italy. A new world record has been established. Thank you, ladies, and congrats. We're going to be moving on to the bench press event. You have a surprise, a bronze medal coming from the bigger at 112.5 is Monica de la Torre from Mexico. A great story. With the same personal best attempt, but lighter on body weight from Great Britain, Bobby Butters. Yes, and was silver. It's not a real surprise. It's the bench press demon that gets bench press gold. Emily Olin from Sweden on 112.5. Guys, ladies, thank you. We're moving on to the deadlift event. Bronze medalist with 212.5 a match PB from France, Sylvain. Silver medalist with 215 from New Zealand, Evie Corrigan. And with 238, pulling the world, a new world record that goes to Joy Namani from Great Britain. Two individuals record have been broken in the weight class. The rest, ladies, we're moving on to the final placings in the weight class. She took a bet. She moved on from the 52s to the 57. She's back on the podium with 500 bronze medalists from New Zealand, Evie Corrigan. After a fantastic battle, she ends up in second position with 570.5 from Italy. Sara Naldi is your vice champion. And ladies and gentlemen, your new 2026 IPF All Open Classic Powerlifting Championship champion in the 57 with 518 from Great Britain, Joy Namani. And I'm going to kindly ask everyone, if you're able to stand up, please do for the national anthem of Great Britain. Congratulations, ladies. That car was very nice to strength and performance and sportsmanship. Ladies, we will now open our technical control for one last lap of our all-round the platform. These have been the 57 of the World Championships. We're now putting on all of the 7 people together up for their award ceremony. All of the 7 people now, all of the 7 people. Dear audience, it is now time to welcome the 7 schools for their award ceremony. Once again, the awards given out by Robert Geller and Tim Hall, Vice President of the IPF. not worry. These are not stealing anything. You already got one. He's a legal member, but he medal in this one event. Everything will be subsidized. So it is now time to give awards for the one event of the 74s. As the prize medal from a B group member, bronze medalist Yassine Medjahed from Algeria. Yassine, third step at the podium. Squat silver with 312.5 new personal best goes to Français Balthazar Bertrand. And squat gold with 340, just 1 kg shy of the world record, goes to the USA and Austin Burgess. You may now step down. In the bench press event, bronze medalist with 192.5 cost is Balthazar Bertrand. Balthazar, third step of the podium. With 207.5, bench press silver goes to the USA and Austin Burgess. And with a new open world record at 216 from Chinese Taipei, bench press gold goes to Chu Fan. Congrats, gents. You may now step down. We're moving on to deadlifts. A battle until the end for deadlift medals. Bronze medalist from Canada with 315 is Luke Palmer. And I might need the Canadian deadlift program because silver medalist is also from Canada with 325, Jacob Lafleur. Dropping the hammer with a new open world record at 344, beltless Austin Burgess. Congrats, gentlemen. It's time for the final placings in the weight class. Bronze medalist overall with a new personal best, a total of 781 from Chinese Taipei is Chu Fan. Vice champion of the world with 805 from France is Balthazar Bertrand. And as if there were ever a doubt, and still your world champion with 891.5, equaling the world record, is Austin Burgess from the USA. Proving the points, going 6 for 6 instead of 9 for 9 in collecting gold. We're excited for Sheffield now. If you can, please stand up for the national anthem of the USA. That is it for the 74s. The championship continues tomorrow. We'll be back at 9 in the morning. We have 3 sessions tomorrow and we get to